Hello, hello. Happy Monday, everyone. How's it going? Happy birthday, Kelsey. I can see in the chat your birthday tomorrow. It's a real birthday week around here at Trivia Mystery HQ. It's Jessica's mum's birthday on Wednesday, nephew's birthday on Tuesday. It's my brother's birthday yesterday, my sister's birthday tomorrow. Birthdays all over the place. It's a real birthday-ish time of year. So how's everyone doing? How's your weekend? Only one Van Gogh in for now. Hopefully he'll get off in a bit and be able to help you out. But we'll see how you get on your own. Yeah, and it's Mother's Day in America as well. Coming Sunday. We decided to do our Mother's Day theme round before, just so we were reminding people beforehand. It's really bad when you see it and you're like, oh God, is that today? Was that yesterday? So we were trying to bear that in mind. Also, because it's, as I said, Jessica's mum's birthday coming up, we just figured we'd do the Mother's themed round this week. Let's have a look. Happy birthday. Thank you very much. And happy birthday to you. Hope you have a good one. Maybe you'll get a win tonight, a birthday win. What a great present that would be. All right, so let's have a look at the rounds we've got coming up. I can see Shane's in the chat. Will he do the three-peat? Two wins in a row after a long dry spell. I think we've been running this quiz 6 or 7 months now. Maybe, I don't know how, a long time. We started around Halloween, I think, just before Halloween. And I don't think we've ever had a team do more than 2 in a row. So you could be our first three-peat. You never know. So as usual, we'll be starting with round 1, general knowledge. And you know what that is. Round 2, Mum's the Word, will be our kind of Mother's Day-ish round. Hey, Liz. Good to have you in. Round 3, hey, bada, swing, bada. Round 4, movie mashups. Little pug there. Little pug for our pug parent, our pug parent quizzes in the audience. And round 5, A Rose by Any Other Name. It's finally getting to be springy around here. We fingers crossed, seeing the last of the snow here. You never know. As Jessica's mum said the other day, can't put the snow shovels away just yet. But yeah, flowers and stuff. We thought we'd do a kind of springy round for that. Then round 6, May the 4th be with you. Another important holiday tomorrow. So we'll have a kind of Star Warsy round. Round 7 is May Day. So we just had a May Day at the weekend there. So, well, you'll have to see what that round's about. And then finally, as always, as ever, round 8 will be another helping of general knowledge to kind of test those kind of regular trivia-ish skills of yours. All right, so if this is your first time playing in the Monday quiz, if you've just come over from the Thursday quiz, or you've seen the post that I made on Facebook, you play along in a different browser window or on your phone or however you want to play along, and I'll read the questions, you'll answer them as you go. Some of them will be like multiple choice, some of them you have to type in the answer. There's different kind of like methods of answer entry. Some of them will have pictures and stuff, and you make sure you have to hit that green submit button. So it's not quite like the Thursday quiz where once you hit your answer, it's in. Once you get to the end of each 5-question round, it'll ask you to submit to confirm your answers, lock them in, kind of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire style. So sometimes if you see me at the end of the round, oh, we're just waiting on one team to get their answers in, it's because they've forgotten to hit that submit button. They've selected all their answers and just forgotten to hit the green button. So don't forget to do that. With rounds with picture entry, anything where you have to click on a picture or something, stuff like that, you might have to do a capture as well, and the green button will be after the capture. So if you hit the capture, don't forget to hit the green button again afterwards. But that is that. I think that's a little crash course there, just in case we do have any new viewers in. But let's get things rolling. Let's get everything underway with our first round of general knowledge for this, our 3rd of May edition of Monday Night Trivia Stream. And I'm just on the sparkling water today, no beer for me. Had maybe a few too many on Saturday night. So, general knowledge, our first question, question 1, turning 73 today. The oldest newscast in television history aired for the first time on May 3rd, 1948 on what networks? This is the oldest newscast, like news program, you know, like you turn the telly on and watch the news that's still running today. Was that on BBC, CBS, ABC, or RTE? So we've got a British broadcaster, 2 American broadcasters, and an Irish broadcaster there. Which of them, 73 years ago today, aired the first, or like the longest currently running television newscast? So obviously, some of those broadcasters predate television and would have had radio newscasts before then, but the first television newscast with news anchors and stuff. All right, next up. How much bigger is a 14-inch pizza than a 10-inch pizza? Is it 40% bigger, 60% bigger, 80% bigger, or 100% bigger? So how much more pizza do you get when you order a 14-inch pizza instead of a 10-inch pizza? All right, next one. Roughly how many volcanoes erupt each year? We're talking in like the geologically modern times. So there are probably times in Earth's history where they were just constantly going off. If childhood depictions of dinosaurs were anything to go off, they were just like constantly exploding back then. But these days, roughly how many volcanoes erupt each year around the world? Is it around 10, around 60, around 180, or around 700? All right. Let's see the next one. Which of these was not part of the original product line that introduced fish sticks? So originally, fish sticks were just one of a product line that included a lot of different types of sticks. Fish sticks were the only one that kind of survived. The rest of them, interest was just petered out. So turkey sticks, veal sticks, ham sticks, lima bean sticks. Which of those was not a real member of the original fish stick family? So that's from Birdseye. Fish fingers, as you might know them in the UK. I don't know if they had the equivalent products with finger at the end in the UK, but certainly in the US, these are all things. And let's have a look at our final question of our first round. What is the only species of bird that urinates separately from defecating? So most birds, it all just comes out in one big, gross blob mixed together. So which of them can pee separately? Is that the penguin, the flamingo, the ostrich, or the vulture? All right. So we'll have those cycling round on the screen there. So yeah, we had a couple of May Day, Mother's Day, springy type things. May Day just gone there. An interesting holiday to me because it's kind of like 2 completely unrelated holidays that just share a date and often a name, not always a name. Some places call it Labor Day or whatever. But it's just like on one hand, you've got this Wicker Man, pagan, spring worship thing going on. I know a lot of May Day stuff actually isn't as old as all that. It's kind of more like 1400s-ish. It's definitely not pre-Christian or anything, but it kind of has that vibe going on. And it's not like a Christian, but it probably has pre-Christian roots, but like a lot of the maypole and stuff like that is kind of after Christianization, but it's never been a Christian holiday. So it's kind of got that cool, weird pagany vibe to it. And then on the other hand, you've got a much more modern celebration, and it's labor solidarity and all of that. So, cool pagany, druidy stuff and labor solidarity, two things that appeal to me for different reasons. It's just a fun combination of holidays. All right, so I think we are just waiting on one team. So once you're satisfied with your selections, obviously, as I said, with the green button, you can go back. You can, if you're like not sure, you can still, obviously, they're still cycling around. So you think about it, it's like, actually, no, I don't think it is this network. I think it's this other network. You can change it before you hit submit. But yeah, I think it's time to, whatever your selections are at the moment, lock them in. The sparkling water is good. It's like grapefruit and pomelo flavor. So LaCroix, the like most famous of the sparkling water brands, is a Wisconsin-based company. We've got Klarbrunn, which is also from Wisconsin, but it's like the lesser-known cousin of LaCroix. Not as trendy. All right, so whichever team, yeah, okay, I see our spot on the screen. That means everyone's in, and he's doing his job, totting up your scores and hopefully just automatically transferring them into the scoreboard. You might already be able to see them. If you're looking at the page with the live scoreboard on it, you might have to refresh to see it. We'll run through the answers. So, turning 73 today, it was CBS, the oldest newscast in television history. So, good job, CBS. A 14-inch pizza is 100% bigger than a 10-inch pizza. You're getting twice the pizza. It doesn't seem like it, right? But yeah, I mean, that's how square, cute, like length to area goes, Crazy, isn't it? Pizza pie r squared. But they're about in the range of 50 to 70 volcanoes typically erupt each year in like the modern geological era. Turkey sticks didn't exist. So there were chicken sticks, but no turkey sticks. But yeah, veal sticks, lima bean sticks. They had eggplant sticks. Yeah. I kind of am curious to try a lima bean stick. Ham sticks seems like it would be a bit too salty. As much of a ham fan as I am. Well, that kind of rhymes. And number 5, the ostrich. Ostrich is the only bird that has like a urethra to separate its urine from its feces. All right, so let's take a look at the scoreboard after that. I never know how many teams we have in until we see that these round one scores. So let's have a look. Okay, so Van Gogh's in first place at 3 points, or I guess the Van Gogh, yeah, just one, the only Vincent Van Gogh in first place with 3 points. Frankenbeans and Flying Solo and Quistery, and they are all tied with 2 points. Big Bag of Cans and F&B for Presidents with 1 point each. Not a great start to the title defense for Big Bag of Cans. But let's move on to the next round and see how things stand after that. Obviously, everything is always close after the first round by the nature of cumulative scores. I don't know if you guys can hear the trivia police calling on the phone. It really is the new trivia police, that phone ringing. Second guessing. It's the scourge of those not quite sure questions. All right, round two, mum's the word. So, long-time players will be familiar with this question format. It's kind of a 3x3 grid, if it shows up like that on your device, of pictures. We've done it with owls and snakes and bears and all kinds of things. This time it's characters or real people whose names have like mom, mum, mama, mummy, anything like that. Kind of mothery characters, mothery name. Either they are known as mothers or they have mothery names. And we're going to give you 5 clues. So from the 9, there's only going to be 5 of them that you'll use. Each clue corresponds to 1 picture. So each clue only corresponds to 1 picture, and each picture is only used once, and there'll be 4 of them that don't get used. And with Kelsey's rule, this means you have to select something to move on to the next one. So if you select, you have to select an answer for clue number 1 before you can move on to clue number 2, just so you don't forget to choose something for each one. You can go back to change it at any point before you lock in. So let's have a look. Number 1, this mom lends her name to an egg-laying mammal. So of those characters / people, which one does that apply to? This mom lends her name to an egg-laying mammal. Number 2, this mom was born in Zebes during the Chozo period. All right, then the third mum clue. This mum is immune to acid, cold, fire, lightning, and poison damage. Number 4. This mum is loosely based on the real mum, Augusta Gain. Augusta Gain. And the 5th mum clue. This mum's real name is Carol Miller. So these are our Mother's Day round, the Mother's Day mums. If you're not American, don't panic. You haven't forgotten Mother's Day. It's not now for you. And if you are American, don't worry. You haven't missed Mother's Day. It's this Sunday coming, not Sunday just gone. You know, sometimes when there's a thing like a holiday or just a thing going on at a certain time, and it's on the Sunday, we'll include it in the next Monday's quiz. But we thought with Mother's Day, people want to be reminded in advance, don't they? And of course, shout out to the Trivia Mystery Mums and the American Trivia Mystery Mum in particular, because it's American Mother's Day today, and also it's her birthday on Wednesday, as we mentioned already. So happy birthday. So she might be watching. And yeah, get those guesses in, guys. Oh, little note up on the screen there. Yeah, so hopefully if you had forgotten Mother's Day and your country celebrates it this coming Sunday, we've done you a little favor there. It's weird how that managed to. There's like not just 2. There's like a bunch. It's not the usual. Usually when there's something like that, it's America is different to everyone else just for no reason. But there's like a bunch of Mother's Days depending on where you are. And I think with other stuff, it's pretty consistent. So I think we are down to just 1 team waiting to get those answers in before we can reveal what the answers are and take another look at the scoreboard. And we'll see if the Van Gogh, the solo Van Gogh. Oh, If a solo Van Gogh claims the win this week, that will be, I'm sure you'll be able to lord it over Matt just forever. But let's have a look at the answers. So RSpot has your answers. Let's reveal what the correct answers were. Subscribers to our newsletter might remember this tidbit from a couple of months ago. Echidna, the mother of monsters. Echidna, the ancient Greek mother of monsters, mother of Cerberus and the Hydra and all sorts of famous mythological monsters. Obviously gives her name to the egg-laying mammal that is also Knuckles in the Sonic video games, Echidna. Talking of video games from the early 90s, Mother Brain from the Metroid franchise, I think created, might be more technically accurate than born, on the planet of Zebes during the Chozo period. Then we have Tiamat, the mother of chromatic dragons. She's immune to acid, cold, fire, lightning, and poison damage, corresponding to the elemental types of her 5 heads. Green dragons have acid breath. White dragons have cold breath. Red dragons have fire breath. Blue dragons have lightning breath. And black dragons have poison breath. And it's Norma Bates, or Mother, from Psycho, based on the real-life mother, Augusta Gein of Ed Gein. Tiamat, the Mother of Dragons, is from D&D. Maybe she's in Magic. There's a lot of overlap in the kind of characters they use there. I think the whole Ravnica setting in D&D 5e originated in Magic, but I don't play Magic, so I'm not an authority there. And Carol Miller, the real name of Mom from the Mom Megacorp in Futurama. So yeah, 3, Tiamat, the Mother of Dragons, is from Dungeons and Dragons. So there's kind of like the 2 principal dragon deities. Tiamat is like associated with the evil chromatic dragons, and Bahamut associated with the noble metallic dragons. Okie dokie. So let's see who knew their moms. And the Van Gogh still in first place. Slightly reduced lead with 5 points just above everyone else, who's pretty much tied there. 4 points for everyone else. Frankenbeans with 3 points. So just a 2-point spread from top to bottom there. It's close as close can get. All right, so let's producer Mothra. Okay, I just realized that she's also inherited backwards the producer title. All right, round 3. Let's have a look. Here we go. Hey, batter. So this is one of our kind of, we do these from time to time rounds where we test your knowledge of slang and lingo from specific industries or subcultures. In this case, the sport of baseball. So we're going to give you 5 little bits of slang, and you're going to guess what they mean in the sport of baseball. Let's get right into it. Number 1, hotfoot. Is hotfoot to steal a base, to slide into home, or a prank where players light each other's shoes on fire? So what is the meaning of hotfoot in baseball? All right. Our second bit of baseball lingo is actually, we've mixed it up. It's a reverse one. Which of these is not a real term for a home run? A tater, a Simpson, or a dinger? Okay. Let's have a look at number 3. What's a banana stalk? Is that a curveball, a tall player, or a bat made of cheap wood? All right, number 4. What is a can of corn? Is that an easy to catch ball, the bullpen, or a batter's helmet? And the 5th and final bit of baseball lingo for you there. What is a snowman? Is that the closing pitcher, an 8-run inning, or an umpire? So I think all of those will be on the question form. Not sure. If not, they'll keep cycling around on the screen. Baseball's a funny one in terms of the amount of not just idioms it involves, and it has a whole lot of slang and idioms associated with it, but the amount that it kind of has put into common speech, I think it's got to be up there with horse racing for sports that have contributed the most idioms to common English. Probably largely due to its status as like the most popular sport in America for the first half of the 20th century, when just a lot of modern slang was created. But and like idioms and stuff, kind of it was around during the explosion of American soft power in movies and television and everything. It kind of like it makes sense why that's the case, but it really is like a ton of stuff that we don't even think about. You barely even think of it as being specifically baseball related until you realize, like, oh yeah, of course that's from baseball. Like maybe it's more obvious to Americans, but for those of us who grew up using the expressions without really thinking about where it came from, it's like, oh yeah, it is weird how we talk about like touching base and stuff. All right, so I think we're just, yeah, maybe. Just American in general. Sorts out. What is it like? Is it a really regional thing? Like depending where you are, what sport's going to be more popular? Yeah, let's go Twins. Let's go Twinnies. All right. Oh, what's that? The scoreboard flashing up for a second there. Oh, is that just the previous scoreboard? All right. So, does that mean the answers are coming in? I think we're just waiting on one team. No, we have everyone's answers in. Of course, a Canadian contingent like hockey. Hot Foot, a prank where players light each other's shoes on fire. And if you thought it was the joke answer, I'm afraid you were wrong. This is a real thing. It's not unique to baseball, but it's extremely popular in baseball and has been for decades. This is like a classic thing, apparently, that baseball players do to one another. There's a lot of standing around waiting to do stuff if you play baseball. So, yeah, I guess they come up with ways to pass the time. A Simpson is not a real term for a home run, although it should be. I mean, there are so many terms for the home runs. Someone's probably used this at least once, but it's not one of the major ones that you find when you Google lists of terms for home runs. All right. Next up, a banana stick is a bat made from cheap wood. Oh dear, you're going to make an enemy of producer Jessica. This is a wild trivia broadcast studio, as you probably guessed from our other sporting allegiances. Yeah, a banana stalk, a bat made from cheap wood. A can of corn is an easy to catch ball. And a snowman is an 8-run inning. Like the number 8 looks kind of like a snowman, kind of like in Bingo, Two Fat Ladies, 88. This one is a bit less needlessly insulting. So how did everyone do there? Was there a benefit to being from a baseball place, or are these so arcane that even baseball fans wouldn't have got them? Let's find out. Well, the Van Gogh did get 5 for 5, so clearly some advantage there. F and B for presidents as well. So the Canadian and the American getting perfect scores there. So definitely a cultural advantage if you grew up around baseball. The Van Gogh holding on to her lead. Flying Solo and Big Bag of Cans tied in third with 6 points, and Quistery and Frankenbeans 5 points apiece. All right. You have to support them through the worst times. That way it'll feel better when they start winning again. And here we go, round 4. This is our last round before the intermission. We've been tearing through these first few rounds. And this, I'm trying to remember what order the rounds go in. Yeah, this will be movie mashups. Yeah, see, I don't really get to claim that pain yet. I've only really been following Minnesota sports for about 5 years, so I can't really lay any claim to the pain of a lifetime of disappointment. I don't know that any serious injuries have occurred from hot foot. That will require further research on my part. But movie mashups. So the way this one works is we're going to take the names of. We're going to give a clue that describes a plot that's like a mashup of two different movies, and those movies will share a word. So the last word of one of the movies will be the first word of the other, and you're going to type in the mashup movie name. So, for example, it was like John McClane goes to a Christmas party only to find out that he has to take down the Hong Kong mob that killed his partner during a slow motion gunfights while doves fly everywhere. That would be a mashup of Die Hard and Hard Boiled. So they both share the word hard. It's the last word of the word Die Hard, first word of the word, the last word of Die Hard, first word of Hard Boiled. So the answer would be Die Hard Boiled. Oh my God, they're on the phone again. These trivia police are determined to get us. So hopefully this will become a bit clearer once we get into the round. But let's have a look at the first one, see if you get what we're going for here. So there's nothing in the rulebook that says a dog can't single-handedly take down a group of the most dangerous criminals in America who have hijacked a transport plane. So the plots of two movies have kind of been mashed together there. And you're going to mash together the titles of the two movies to create the title of the new movie mashup. So there's one overlap word. So the last word of one of the movie titles is the first word of the other movie title. All right. Our movie mashup number 2. A talking, skateboarding white mouse is adopted by a dysfunctional New Mexico family who take him on a madcap road trip to California so he can take part in a mouse beauty pageant. Okay, our third movie mashup. A cynical TV weatherman must relive the same zombie apocalypse over and over in the final chapter of this classic horror trilogy. I think that first one does not follow description order. The rest of them do follow description order. I just went for like what would make most sense describing the plot, but it can be either way around. Just in whichever way the words work out. So if you can tell what the two movies are, then you'll be able to tell which way around they go because of the shared word. The shared word will go in the middle. So a cynical TV weatherman must relive the same zombie apocalypse over and over in the final chapter of this classic horror trilogy. All right, number 4. Luke Skywalker must travel back in time in an X-Wing that Yoda has modified with a flux capacitor to make sure that Darth Vader doesn't become his father. And our final movie mashup. A sexually frustrated suburban family man develops an erotic fixation on his teenage daughter's friend, who he hopes will free him from a curse inflicted by a witch for his vanity. So, first step is try to guess what the two different movies that I've stuck together there are, and then the second step is how do they fit together. What is the shared word? Shared word goes in the middle. So you only type that shared word once. All right. So this is round 4 where we normally have our intermission, and we are going to continue that custom. This round's a bit of a thinker, so we'll give you the intermission to think about it. And we'll see you back here in a couple of minutes. All right, we are back from the intermission. I think most of you have your answers in. Just one team left, so get whatever your guess is in. Get them submitted, and we'll see how you've done. I said I wasn't going to have a beer, but I will have a little beer. Oh, right, yeah, I don't have my headset on. Whoops. Okay. There we go. Forgot that I wasn't using the regular mic. Sound should be a bit better now. I did end up going for a beer in the end. Well, it's a citrus radler. It doesn't say. I assume that means it's less boozy, but it doesn't actually say. But taking it easy on the drink. All right. Yeah, you gotta do that. I can hear Jessica mocking my from her booth. All right. So whoever that last team is, get those answers in. Hit that submit button. Oh, don't make me tap the 30-second timer sign. You've had the intermission. Oh, and you're in. Fantastic. So round 4 answers. Let's have a look. So first up, it was Con Air, an Airbud, Con Airbud. So imagine instead of Nick Cage, it was a Golden Retriever. Next up was Stuart Little Miss Sunshine. Stuart Little Miss Sunshine. Then we had Groundhog Day of the Dead. Then The Empire Strikes Back to the Future. And finally, American Beauty and the Beast. So how did our quizzes do with these brain teasers? Let's find out now. We'll see how. This is obviously something that would have had to be double checked by producer Jessica, because it's typing in the answers. Our spot's pretty good at these, but sometimes stuff slips through the crack. And wow, the Van Gogh, the solo Van Gogh, really liked this round, and for good reason. A perfect score, holding on to that lead. Just a great performance all round so far from the Van Gogh. Definitely something to crow to Matt about when he gets back. F&B for Presidents in second place, 13, and Big Bag of Cans, third place, 11. So definitely still in the running. Could mount a comeback for that three-peat. Flying Solo with 9, Quiz 3, 7, and Frankenbeans on 6 points. All right, so let's move on to round 5. And our 5th round is another picture round, maybe? I can't remember what order we settled on. It is A Rose by Any Other Name. So, it's not Shakespeare. We just chose a Shakespeare title for the name. It's, the abundance of flowers and stuff that's coming out now. It's a flowery time. Certainly here, it's started to get springy. And, I thought that was... Jessica sent me a message. I thought it was about the quiz. It was unrelated. It's about the drink I just got her. It might not be good. Some of them have been in there a very long time. So, we're going to show you 5 famous faces. And alongside each famous face, you're going to see 4 flowers. And you need to choose the flower that matches the name of each famous face. So this is testing, first of all, your knowledge of famous faces, and second, your flower identifying skills. So the flowers are starting to bloom here. I mean, it's May and we're just getting daffodils here. So that's the kind of temperatures we're dealing with over here. Let's have a look at our first famous face and then the 4 flowers you have to choose from. So there we go. There's a lady and 4 types of flower. Which of those flowers shares a name with that woman, whoever she is? Do you recognize who that is? And are you able to name those flowers? And are you able to put those 2 pieces of information together? Yes, that's. I think that problem you're describing there of like, I know what movie this is. I know what it is, but I just can't think of the title. That's a real killer when it comes to those kind of rounds where it's really depending on that kind of wordplay. All right, next up, we have another famous face and 4 more flowers for you to choose from. So can you match the face to the flower? So who is it? And what are those flowers called? And which one has the same name as this lady? All right, who's next? All right, we have another famous face and another selection of 4 flowers. Can you match the face to the flower with the same name? This one might also not be extremely good, but I've got a fairly high tolerance for that. All right, and our next one, we've got a famous face, and we've got 4 more flowers for you to match the celebrity with. So the name matching game. Maybe a slightly more tricky flower selection here than some of the earlier ones. Really getting into those. We're moving beyond just your basic flowers into the more advanced category of flowers. And finally, our last famous face and our last selection of flowers. Can you match these? All right, so you have your 5 famous faces, you have your 20 flowers, and yeah, just match them up. I'm not basic flower. How is I think most of you are all in the kind of like the same climate band, right? Northern Europe, I assume, is a little bit further into spring than northern Wisconsin. We're looking at like what are those regions called, Jessica, that we were looking at the other day, trying to figure out if we're a 3 or a 4 of like when to start planting stuff. Hardiness zones. So we're like a hardiness zone 4. I think that's an American system. I don't know if a similar thing exists in Europe. Hardiness. What? What are you? What is this? I don't know. Anyway, 10 degrees and raining. That's miserable. I guess it's kind of, you get the highs and lows here, which is, yeah, I kind of expect that for Northern Europe at this time. It's kind of gray and medium temperature. Here it's been kind of zigzagging from like snow to like yesterday it was like 75 degrees and sunny, whatever that is. I'm already starting to convert, like just think of weather in Fahrenheit just because that's how I hear it spoken about now. And I just can't be bothered to convert every single time. I'm getting properly Americanized. All right, so have you got those answers in? Hit submit. And we'll see if anyone is going to be able to catch up with the lone Vanguard. We're waiting on a couple of teams. Okay. Yeah, I guess there's a lot of visual information to process in this one. Just takes a few seconds to maybe identify a flower and try and figure out. You know, I guess there's 2 ways you can go here. If you instantly recognize the person, then you can just try and figure out what is the flower. Or if you instantly recognize all the flowers, you can be like, well, which one of those is most likely to be that person's name? So whichever one you're stronger at can like help you, like which direction you go with that information. And don't forget, because this is a picture round, you do have to do a capture probably afterwards. So that might be what's holding people up on hitting submit. after you do the capture, you have to hit submit again. Well, the first time, but it's easy to forget after the capture. So just one team now that we're waiting on. And that is everyone. So Askbot's totting up the scores. Let's have a look at the answers. So that is Lily Allen, and those are lilies. So Lily Allen, that's the answer there. Next up, we had Daisy Ridley. Then our third one was Heath Ledger. The plant's called Heather. You can also call the flowers Heath. That's Heath Ledger there. Next, she spells it differently to the flower, but that's Azalea Banks, and that's an azalea bush. And finally, from Looney Tunes, we have Witch Hazel. That is what witch hazel looks like when it's on the trees and blooming. So how did everyone do there? Let's have a look at the scores. And Van Gogh, the one and only Van Gogh, still in the lead there. Nice 3-point lead, nice comfy lead there, going into the 6th round. F&B for Presidents in second with 16, and Big Bag of Cans with 14. So settling into a kind of a nice groove there, a nice rhythm. Flying Solo with 10. Quistery and Frankenbeans tied with 9 points each. All right, so great job, everyone. Let's move on to the next round, which is May the 4th be with you. So tomorrow it's May the 4th, and it's kind of become kind of a Star Wars holiday, thanks to the similarity in sound to May the Force be with you. And so we've got 5 works of art here, and they've all been edited by the talented, I've written, David Hamilton, aka Winter64. So that's his @ on Twitter if you want to look him up. I just stumbled across a post he made on Board Panda about 6 years ago, and I was like, these are great. I'm going to use them in the quiz. So I tracked him down and double checked, can we use these? And he's cool with it. So thanks, Dave. He's taken famous artworks and inserted Star Wars elements into them. So what you have to give us is the artist for the original artwork. So just the surname will do. Askbot is not going to mark you down if you include the full name, but he's only looking for the surname. So it's not as harsh as Kahoot, where adding extra information causes you to not get the point. But Askbot is only searching for the surnames here, so that'll be enough to get you the point. And here we can see Princess Leia and R2-D2 enjoying a day by the Seine, an afternoon by the Seine. Who was the artist there? A little dog, little monkey, people chilling out. So who was the artist of the original work? And these are all going to get double checked because, names can be tricky, especially when it comes to spelling. Names often have kind of not the spelling you'd expect. All right, and here we have Han Solo. He's been edited into a work of art by a famous artist. Who is the artist of the original? All right, next up, we've got the droids there looking in to see some of the Mos Eisley patrons in a famous cafe scene. What artist painted the original work? And once again, we have C-3PO in another famous painting. What was the name of the artist of the original? I think I'm gonna have to, yeah, not drink the rest of this. It's definitely bad. And the final one. All right, so there we can see the moisture farm being burnt to the ground. Not pictured the charred corpses of Uncle Lars and Aunt Beru, but whose original painting has been edited. Okay, so this is just typing in just one name for each one. Oh, did I just jog the camera? All right, I was just checking I had the right name there. And yeah, as mentioned, these are all going to get manually checked. So I think we've got kind of a range of fame for artists here. But they're all things that you conceivably could have heard of. We're not going super obscure in any of them. I don't appreciate basic flower hanging around for so long. I just don't agree. I don't agree with the sentiment. So we'll see how. Oh no, this is getting. This is, if anything, it's getting worse. So this will test your knowledge of art history and just art in general, I guess. Artist, correct? Yes, not the painting name. The name of the artist. The only thing that Artspot has been programmed to look for here is the artist's surname. So technically, you could just write a single word for all of these. Just the surname of each artist is enough for the point. You can write the full name if you like. You could even write the name of the painting as long as you also include the name of the artist, but it won't get you any extra points. Artspot is just looking for that all-important artist surname. So that's the piece of information we're after here. Oh, a weenie dog is being passed through to me in a dangerous maneuver. Oh, he's got all these drinks and he. Here he is. Hello, Frank. Why is he being passed over? I thought he was having a nap. Oh, he's not as fame hungry as Beans. Oh, there you go. Good boy. He just likes to nap. Beans loves the attention. Oh, Frank, is that you? Is that you on the screen? Oh, Frank, you farting? Is that why you've been handed over to me? All right. So, how many are we waiting on? And the Van Goghs have come in their full strength now. Matt coming to claim credit for for Kelsey's 2/3 of a victory or 3/4 of a victory. No, I kid. You share all things. There's all good couples. You share your victories and your defeats. Okay. So there's a weird scoreboard issue happening. So it looks like Jessica's going to have to do all the scoring manually. So give her a second. We will reveal the answers, but the scoreboard might not be 100% up to date. But you'll be able to tot up where you're at in your head. You'll know how many you've got right. So An Afternoon by the Seine is by Georges Seurat. The father of pointillism. Can be found in Chicago Art Institute as seen, or Institute of Art, as seen in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Next up, Yeah, that's Andy Warhol. His portrait of Elvis Presley has been adapted to be about uh, Han Solo, the space pirates. Matt threatening to tank Kelsey's score there. That's teamwork. All right, next up, we've got Edward Hopper's Nighthawks there. And it's a slightly zoomed out version compared to the more familiar version of the painting, so that we can see the outside looking in, those two droids not allowed in the bar. Next up, it was Edvard Munch's The Scream that now has C-3PO in it. And Andrew Wyeth's painting Christina's World has been transported to Tatooine there. So how did our teams do there? Oh, we might not know yet. So we might. I'm not sure how Jessica's getting on with the scoreboard issue. We might have to go straight to the next round. Oh no, she's got everything done. She's just going to refresh the page and we'll see the updated score totals. Fast work there from Jessica. The Van Gogh, now the Van Goghs, I guess, holding on to their lead. Please, for our spot's sake, continue using the team name the Van Gogh. Holding on to the lead, 22 points. F&B for Presidents, very close behind, 20 points. Big Bag of Cans in third place with 15 points. So starting to look like a two-horse race, unless Matt really does tank the Van Gogh scores. It looks like it's going to be tricky for Big Bag of Cans to do the three-peat. Flying Solo and Quiz tied on 11, Frankenbeans on 9. All right, let's move on to round 7. So Mayday, Mayday. We just had Mayday. Of course, Mayday is a distress call on like over the radio in air and sea. I think from the French, like Mayday, like help us. So what we've got here are 5 famous air and sea disasters. I've weirdly seen 3 and / or discussed 3 of these paintings recently. So what we're going to do here, you're going to put these in order from west to east. So as you see that map there, and as like standard coordinates work, kind of like the Aleutian Islands or Hawaii would be the far west, and like Kamchatka Peninsula or New Zealand would be the far east. So going from number 1 will be the most westerly, and number 5 will be the most easterly. Sometimes his team name seems to be autocorrecting to Big Ban of Cans sometimes. So just as if you were reading left to right on this world map, put them in order from left to right, from west to east on this map. So the 5 places are the Hindenburg crash site, so where the Hindenburg disaster happened. The last radar detection of Malaysia Flight 370. So a trivia mystery, we're not claiming to know where Malaysia Flight 370 ended up. This is just the last confirmed location from the radar. Then where did the Lusitania sink? Where was the Marie Celeste found floating and abandoned? And finally, where did the Titanic sink? So these are the 5 places. You're putting them in order from west to east. So number 1 will be the most westerly, and number 5 will be the most easterly. So the Hindenburg crash, the last confirmed location of Malaysia Flight 370, the sinking of the Lusitania, the location that the Marie Celeste was recovered, abandoned, and the sinking of the Titanic. So try and figure out, where do you think those things happened, and can you put them in order? So remember, we're going west to east. I just want to be exceedingly clear on that. I don't want anyone to accidentally go east to west and mess things up. So we're starting with the one that is furthest west as number 1, finishing with the one that's furthest east as number 5. All right, so get your guesses in for that. Ooh, Frankie, 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 Frankie. Ooh. Ooh, look at him. He's so sleepy. Why are you so sleepy? It's the middle of the day. There he is. Full name, Frankenstein. Boo, 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 boo. All right, so how many teams are we waiting on now? 2 teams, 2 teams. So get those in, and we'll see how everyone's doing. If those top 2 teams have crashed like the Hindenburg, or if they are still running away with it. This is the kind of round that really can cause a bit of a shake-up. That's why we like to put them in round 7. Because even just like one mistake actually will cost you 2 points, because it will mean you've misplaced at least 2 things. And a perfect score on a round like this can really do you favors heading into our last general knowledge round. Okay, I think we're just waiting on one team now, so hit submit and we'll see where you've hit the right answer. Reaching for the rhyme there. All right, and R-Spot's appearance tells me you're all in. So let's look at the answers first. So from west to east, the Hindenburg crash site, that was in New Jersey. The Titanic sunk in the North Atlantic. It actually got most of the way across, sunk not too far from the maritime provinces of Canada. Then the Marie Celeste was found in the Azores, the Portuguese island archipelago, also in the North Atlantic, but not as far west as the Titanic sinking at site. The Lusitania sank in the Irish Sea between the UK and Ireland. And the last radar detection of Malaysia Flight 370 was, unsurprisingly, near Malaysia. I'll try and lift him up. He wants to be resting. There we go. There's a bit more Frank. There he is. All right, so that's the 5 sites in order from west to east. Let's see how everyone scored there. And F&B for Presidents still. Oh no, F&B for Presidents in the lead now with a perfect round. So a lead change going into the final round. Oh my lord, the Van Goghs in second place, 24 points. Oh my gosh. Oh, what a change in fortunes since Matt has returned. But of course, 1 point difference. It means it's still anyone's game. And Big Bag of Cans still mathematically in it. Perfect round for Big Bag of Cans as well. So we have 3 teams who could mathematically end up in, at the very least, a tiebreak situation, depending on how everyone performs in this coming round. I think Quiz3, they're there with 16 points, Flying Solo with 13, and Frankenbeans with 12. Oh dear. Okay, well, at least it's like no one's fault in particular. I think let's not take credit away from a great comeback from F&B for Presidents, but it's not over until the final whistle, and that final whistle does not blow until the end of round 8, general knowledge. So it's definitely still anyone's game. 1 point separating the top 2. If the league can change once, it can change again. So round 8, general knowledge. Here we go. So, which team selected Clemson quarterback Trevor Lawrence with the number 1 pick in the NFL draft last week? Was that the New York Jets, the Washington football team, the Jacksonville Jaguars, I believe is how it's pronounced here, the Jacksonville Jaguars, as I would say it, or the Cincinnati Bengals? So, which of those 4 teams had the number 1 pick in the draft and used it to select Trevor Lawrence? All right. Question 2. Illinois man John Hinkle bowled a perfect 300-point game last week. But what was unusual about the achievement? He did it blindfolded. He bowled each frame at a different bowling alley. He bowled while suspended upside down, or his ball was filled with his dead father's ashes. F&B for present surging after seeing Frank. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe getting Frank on screen is too much of a good luck charm for teams with Frank in the name. All right. Question 3. Which of these is not something that Taiwanese legislators have actually done to disrupt proceedings in the infamously hot-tempered legislature? So, played loud music over another legislator's speech, chewed up a bill and refused to spit it out, thrown pork guts at other legislators, or headbutted political opponents. So which of those isn't a real thing that they've done in the Taiwan legislature, the parliament, basically? All right, number 4. Which of these major European football clubs were not among the founding 12 of the disastrous attempt to form a European Super League earlier this month? Atletico Madrid, Bayern Munich, Inter Milan, or Tottenham Hotspur? So which of those teams was not part of that just absolutely complete atrocious failure and just complete folly, hubris? Oh, this was actually, yeah, it would have been last month, I guess, because we're very early in the month. But, within the last 4 weeks, it's a couple of weeks ago this happened. So which of these teams was not part of the official founding 12? All right, number 5, our final question of regular play. Definitely, I would say, moderate to high chance of tiebreak this week. Very close going into this round. Living on the campus of York University, Long Boy is one of the tallest blank in the world. Is that cats, rabbits, ducks, or frogs? What is Long Boy? So Long Boy has gone kind of viral online this week, so you may well have seen him. Okay, so close thing going into this round. After a very dominant first half for the Van Goghs, F&B for president really surging in the second half. That's what's so exciting about the sport of trivia. You never know. You never know when a round is going to go someone's way. Just suddenly you'll be hit with just something you're really, really good at and the other teams are not so good at, and everyone's fortunes can change. But as ever, general knowledge, the great equalizer, we try to mix it up so that no one is going to have any particular competitive advantage during the general knowledge round other than just knowing a bunch of general knowledge stuff. So we will see how the chips have landed soon enough. Get those answers in. Long boy, Frank. He is a long boy. He's a long boy. Let's get this long boy. Oh, he's a long boy. Long. Look how long he is. Long. All right, so we are waiting on one team. I guess we did have 2 sports questions in here, so but one American, one European. So again, not too biased. Just how things work out. A lot of it's just the order that I think of the questions in, to be honest. There's not too much of a careful process that goes into it. All right, and all the answers are in. Askspot is totting up your scores. Let's go through the answers first before we see the scoreboard. So first up, the Jacksonville Jaguars, they had the worst record last year, somehow even worse than the Jets. So they got the #1 pick and Trevor Lawrence. Next up, John Hinkle bowled a 300-point game with a ball filled with his dead father's ashes. Apparently he uses an unconventional 2-handed hold on the ball and doesn't use the thumb hole. So that's where the ashes went. All right, then of those things listed, played loud music over another legislator's speech is not one of the things that's been done. Apparently, they have unplugged the sound system while another legislator was speaking, so that's kind of similar. But no loud music to date that we know of. Bayern Munich were not part of the founding 12. So the founding 12 were all from the English, Italian, and Spanish leagues. Bayern Munich presumably would have been invited to be a permanent member, but they weren't part of the founding 12. And there we see Long Boy there on the campus of York University. He's a meter tall, so over 3 feet tall. He's a duck. And just look at him. He just looks hilarious. Looks like one of those umbrellas with the duck head handle. All right. So, yes, will Frank have worked his good luck magic on the teams with his name in, both Frank and Beans and F&B for president? Or will the Van Goghs have reclaimed the lead at the finish line? Or will it be a tie? Let's find out right now. You probably know before me because I'm not looking at the. I bet he has to duck a lot. Yes, I love it. Oh, and the Van Goghs, they pull it back. A strong round there, 4 points. And so they claim their first victory in, I would say, a couple of months. So 28 points for the Van Goghs. Great performance there. Well done, Kelsey, keeping the team in contention. A birthday win for Kelsey. Yes, of course. Happy birthday, Kelsey. And keeping the team afloat while Matt attended to business. Great job. Well-deserved, well-earned victory. So congratulations to the Van Gogh / the Van Goghs. 28 points for the win there. F&B for presidents. 27 points, just 1 point, 1 point shy. It was a close run thing there. Came so close yet so far. And Big Bag of Cans, after 2 wins on the trot, finishes in 3rd place. So still a podium finish. Then Quizry on 19, Frank and Beans on 14, and Flying Solo with 13 points. It seems like a rough final round sunk Flying Solo there. So great job, everyone. Thanks for playing. Congratulations. Birthday congratulations to Kelsey and the Van Goghs. And thank you for coming. Thanks for playing, everyone. Great. Yes, great game indeed. All right. And yeah, thanks for playing. We'll be back at the same time next week with our Monday quiz. And as always, we will be doing the Thursday Think Fast, the speed quiz that we run on Thursday at tea time. So that's on an hour and a half earlier. Only runs about half an hour. So that's 6:30 UK or Ireland time, 7:30 Netherlands or Germany. and that's 12:30 if you're here in Central Time Zone in the US. All right, and yeah, see you on Monday, or see you next Monday, or see you on Thursday. Yeah, have a good week. Yeah, bye guys.